to remember this part of the quest. This explosion is something that can kill me instantly. Oh, have you got any tricks up your sleeve?
Fine by me.
Fire resistance. That might be helpful. Okay, she mentioned there are grenades around here somewhere. Frag grenades. Guessing I want that arrow. Boone, you wait here.
I'll sit tight.
I don't want you dying in an explosion. I don't know what floor it's on. Let's go to the bottom and work our way up. Oh yeah, this looks familiar. I think I remember where the vents are. It looks like gas. Oh boy. Do this. Okay, here it goes. Oh. Scary stuff. Weren't we on level 2? I thought so.
I've got your back.
Alright. Did it, lady.
Ah, good. You survived. I was beginning to think you hadn't. You'll be pleased to know that the spore should no longer be a problem. Now all that's left is to ensure that none of this ever happens again. The research that led to these abominations must be erased.
It's not gonna happen.
I've managed to create a connection to the Vault's backup system from here. I just have to remotely delete all the files. No, it shouldn't. That's strange. The system says that the files were accessed recently and copied to an external source. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you? It's possible. I've spent the... For all we know, that man sent someone immediately after you to swipe the data while... Nothing to be done about it, I suppose. All we can do is delete what... I've unlocked the door, so you're free to run along now. Although it pains me to say it, I wouldn't have made it out. If you're heading back toward McCarran, tell Dr. Williams that she has my thanks as well.
I'm not letting you delete that data. Got a lot of caps for that data. Say goodbye to Eddie one last time on our way by. How you doing, old friend? What? I liked him. Does anyone take me seriously wearing this? Dr. Hildern. I wasted that atomic cocktail. But better safe than sorry. Not that I'll ever think to use it in any other situation. You guys have a drinking fountain? Ooh, pure water toilet. Delicious. Just ladle it out with a plunger. How do I not need any sleep? Oh, it must be the atomic cocktail. Put me on edge. Hello, Angela.
Keeley just called in. You should have heard the director. But Wait up. Now look here. She wouldn't let him finish a sentence. Just reamed him out for sending all those people to the vault. I've never seen his face so red and twitchy. Thanks for keeping her safe. Here's the caps I promised. I knew I had a good feeling about you.
Wow, 800.
Thanks again.
I received a pleasant call from Dr. Keeley. It seems we have you to thank for keeping her alive. Very charitable of you.
You owe me a robot, sir.
Wonderful. Excellent work. Let me see it. It'll take a moment to decode on my terminal. I don't see how that's relevant. The dangers of the vault were your business. I think Williams' decryption algorithms seem to be working. Yes, here it is. The data is mostly uncorrupted. This will make the board of directors finally sit up and take notice. Here then, as promised, an agreeable sum payable upon delivery of the data. You've more than done your part.
1,200. I got money again. Give me more caps.
You want to renegotiate your contract? I realize that one's word counts for little in the wasteland, but amongst... Now, wait a minute. There's no need to do anything rash. Naturally, OSI would be willing to negotiate for exclusive rights to that data. Here, take these caps. That's all of my contracting budget, and it's yours. Now, I've got to get back to work. I'm sure you understand. Exit's over there. You can show yourself out.
Man, I'm milking that guy dry. Starting to learn a bit about science.
Oh, good to see you again.
I'm usually good with faces, but I don't think I've seen you here before. You don't cook by any chance, do you?
No.
Farber's doing his best, but it's hard to manage an army with half my staff, and honestly, we're fighting a lot of fires right now. The fiends keep pressing their position from Vault 3. We've got the Legion breathing down our necks across the river. We actually took an officer alive last week, but so far he hasn't spoken a word. I have Lieutenant Boyd on that already, and she's excellent, but I think talk to her if you like. Her office is right above mine, but I think she might be interrogating right now. So she'd be upstairs on the other side of the building. As in chem fiends. Biggest gang of raiders I've ever seen. Nothing like addiction to swell your numbers. Psychotic and completely unpredictable. They set up shop in Vault 3 to the west. Every day they attack our positions and my men repel them. But every day there's more of them and less of us. I sent one of my rangers after their leader to try and destabilize them. He didn't return. Hell of a thing, losing a ranger. You come to depend... That vault is a hornet's nest. If you have second thoughts, no one would think less of you for it. But if you can get him home... Watch for civilians, too. The fiends have been kidnapping locals. But the man you're looking for is Bryce Anders. Anders was trying to find... You hear something like a chainsaw? You've found Motor Runner. Put a bullet in his head, and you'll have... Yeah. On top of everything else, I can't send a patrol on a bathroom break without it being ambushed by someone who heard they were coming. So somebody's getting the word out. Well, why not? I'd like to have absolute trust in my men, but that's just not practical right. We don't have much to go on right now. Lately, every raiding party in New Vegas seems to have a... It derails everything. Captain Curtis is heading up the investigation. Calm is what you have to be when people look to you. And it's all you can be when things are... Could we set up... If anything, they annexed us. They rake in the profits from our soldiers, and we're stuck protecting them from the... Now we're trying to secure the strip and the dam at the same time. And in the meantime, General Oliver won't approve any offensive maneuvers, because he... So we're in a holding pattern here. And Caesar's on the other side. Unfortunately, no. In fact, the word from the... Sounds like they've run into overwhelming resistance. It's been so bad, I asked Sergeant Reyes at Camp Forlorn Hope to look in.
That guy's a goldmine of quests. So upstairs on the other side of the building. The old nut boon.
Boyd's in there with a prisoner right now. Boy, is she pissed.
You stick out like a sore thumb around here. You sure you're in the right place?
Hey, I look exactly like the guy behind me. Oh, I guess he's wearing a spacesuit now. Can't say that anymore.
Yeah, so far this has gone exactly as expected. We captured an honest-to-God centurion of Caesar's... Better believe it. Everybody in Caesar... They're so twitchy they'd probably do it if you reached out to... But here's this guy, who's an elite commander in their army, and he just gives himself up, even as his men are slitting their own throats around him. Well, I don't know about you, but to me that sounds like a man who's willing to cooperate. Only times he speaks up are to insult you. He's a real... Don't have anything like that. Sounds nice. Like the kind of thing I'd want to... But even if we did, I don't know that I'd be comfortable using... Yes, and one time I thought... Problem is that the NCR frowns on using that sort of tactic. But here's my favorite thing about you. You're not in the NCR. Plus, for all this guy knows, you're I think if you rough him up enough, and really put some fear into him... So let's do this.
I do have a
When you're
terrifying
ready,
presence.
I'll go in and give you a little intro. Then I leave the room, and you make him regret the day he was born. We go back and forth a couple times until either he talks or he can't move his jaw anymore. That's the spirit. Okay, I'll go in and have a...
Better not use the submachine gun on him.
Long time no see, Celus.
Lieutenant. I was just thinking about you.
I'll sit tight.
That's so.
I was just thinking about that pretty neck of yours.
How sweet.
I was thinking about how it would look with a Legion slave collar on it.
I'll pass.
Do you know what I love about our slave collars, Lieutenant?
If you love them, maybe you should try one on.
I love how tightly they fit. I train my men to make sure the slave's flesh bulges a bit around the top and bottom. Why?
It's all the rage in fashion circles.
Not quite. If you fit it just right, their body never gets used to the feeling of wearing it. It cuts in just enough when they swallow or turn their head to remind them who they belong to. And it's that constant reminder that keeps them docile.
In that case, maybe you'd better save the collar you were gonna give me.
Oh? For whom?
For a friend of mine you're about to meet. My friend isn't very docile.
And who is this friend of yours?
You know all the rules the NCR instituted to protect enemy prisoners of war?
Of course.
My friend doesn't. Oh, and Silus, if you resist at all, I'll personally blow your brains out. Come on in, he's all yours. I'll be back in a bit to see how you're getting along. And I'll need you to surrender your weapons before you go in. You can pick them up from the locker on your way out.
They call me the spaceman.
What an ugly little worm you are. What pile of excrement did the lieutenant pluck you from, worm?
I like the speech option. I think you're confused. I'm with the excrement right now.
You must have some reason to be in your line of work. Tell me, what did the Legion do to you? Did we enslave your children? Slaughter your family before your eyes to teach you a lesson? Whatever it was, I hope I was there to give the order.
You must miss giving orders now that all your men are dead.
Foot soldiers of the Legion are trained not to have to think for themselves, to have conflict removed from their minds. They kill themselves to evade capture because they are not trusted to make such a decision rationally in the heat of battle. But I'm no foot soldier. I knew I could escape captivity on my own without revealing the tiniest iota of information to my captors.
Sounds to me like you were too gutless to follow Caesar's orders.
I'll show you gutless, you sniveling bastard. I'll spill your guts all over this room.
Is something the matter, Silus? You look upset. Here, maybe you'd better step out for a moment. You've upset him.
Oh, poor guy.
Your friend is a miserable fucking degenerate.
I don't know. I thought he seemed like a nice guy.
If we were on the other side of the river, I'd have him torn apart by dogs.
That's a long walk, Silus. I don't think it's gonna happen. You'd better just talk.
I have a lot of
Your
weapons.
tactics are a joke.
If you don't like dealing with me, I can bring my friend back in.
Both of you can rot.
Have it your way. Come on back in. I think he misses you.
We don't have anything to discuss, worm.
How can a coward attain the rank of Centurion?
Coward. I've faced odds that would make your NCR soldiers wet themselves. I've led charges against men with guns, carrying only my knife. And I can tell you, it was they who feared me. But suicide is a weak death on a battlefield. It says to your enemy that you fear capture. It says if you're caught, you can be broken.
So you are unafraid to cut any throat but your own.
You think I'm going to slit my throat for some megalomaniacal self-appointed dictator? I didn't work my way up to have it all be taken from me out of some irrational paranoia. Caesar's losing it. I believe that. He's been shutting himself in his tent. Privately, he complains of headaches. Whatever it is, it's affecting his ability to lead. Time was essential for my mission, but we waited 3 days for him to dispatch us. Another of his headaches. Does that sound like a man in command? He has an operative planted in this very base, but does he use his agent to rescue me? No. He's content to have the agent spend his nights radioing troop positions back to our base camp. He knows I'm here, and he's left me to rot. I don't know. I know he sends intelligence by radio in the middle of the night. Sometimes that intelligence would find its way to my cantery.
How do you not know how to pronounce the soft C?
Then you're a fool. That man reports to Caesar on what I do here. The Legion isn't going to take me back. My only hope is to escape and disappear. But if I escape and he reports it, they'll hunt me down as long as I live. It served me to report him as much as it served you. I hope the Legion burns your wretched body at the stake when they conquer this place. Nothing I could tell you would do anything to stop that.
You did well. I don't know how you did it without putting a scratch on him, and I'm a little disappointed personally, but it saved the NCR some face. And it could save us more than that when all is said and done. I'm gonna talk to some people when we're through here. This is about double the standard fee we'd give a consultant, but from what I saw, you're more of an artist. So think of this as your commission.
How many caps? How many caps? Stop giving me weapons. 300. Oh, it's an easy 300 at least.
Not big on reading name tags, huh? It's Boyd. Lieutenant Boyd to my friends. Colonel Shu has me handling the policing duties for the base. I've told him he could make my job a whole lot easier if he would just let me shoot anyone who talks back to me. But you know how colonels can be.
I've got your back.
I know it. Best friends forever.